welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. This net meets every Wednesday evening and Sunday evening at 8 p.m. And we use the CTAC repeater here to coordinate our video transmissions. If you would like to follow along, you can Google WW7ATS and find our homepage where you'll find the streaming output. So with that, I have not checked video yet myself, so if people have been on video I won't have seen. Let's take check-ins.
N7QO.
Hi Jim, N7QO, got you.
KD7QKU.
Thanks Ron. Anyone else? Okay, well that's a start. I'm just getting logged in. I was a bit late getting on the computer here. Jim, why don't you start us off?
N7QO. Thank you, Bob. Well, I do see a weak picture of me on the 1.2. Okay, now there's the repeater ID'er. Let's see, the ID'er's gone now. Well, now it's back. Anyway, I haven't had a whole lot of luck with pictures the past month or so. Don't know exactly what's going on, but I'm trying to transmit a picture anyway, so if anyone sees anything, it's likely to be me. Even though it may look more like an Alfred Hitchcock movie or something. But let's see, what can I say? Shoot, I guess we had a meeting today. I missed that. My apologies. I kind of forgot all about it. Having said that, I was really busy today anyway. My wife had some other things going on for me. I'm kind of overflowing with things to do. I should see if I can get something on the stream. I actually brought a method over here where I could maybe see the stream. I'll have to try that when Ron is transmitting. Back to you for now, Bob. K9PQ and 7QO.
Okay, Jim. Well, I did get the streaming up, and I see something there, which I think is you. So that's better than last week. Yeah, it's faint and black and white, but I see it. So good on you. We've got you this week on the streaming as well. Okay, let's go. This is Bob, K9PQ for the Watts Net, and let's go on to Ron. Go ahead there, Ron.
Okay, K9PQ in the group, KD7QKU. Well, good evening, Bob. Good evening, Jim. Well, Jim, I saw you much, much better than I did last week. I don't know what's going on. The ID page keeps coming on, covering you up. But when the ID page would go away, there you were. Of course, black and white, but yeah, you were a lot better than you were last week. I don't know, how we can account for that, but anyway, that's good. So let's see, I got home kind of late. I thought I had a Skype call from Dave, but then when I look at it, it was, well, maybe he did try to call me tonight, I don't know. But anyway, I missed him, and he's off now. We went over to Crossroads and had dinner, and we were going to listen to some music, but then Joanne wanted to go in the half-price bookstore and look for a book, so we ended up in there, and all of a sudden I looked at my watch, and it was time to rush home, so here I am. So yes, we had a good meeting today. We got everything taken care of, I think, that we needed to. There was, maybe Bob can tell us about it. Okay, I guess back to net for now, KD7QKU.
Okay, Ron. Good signal as always. And before I do any switching of the repeater, let me see if there are any more check-ins. Anyone else to check in tonight? Okay then, give me a moment to switch the repeater. Okay, well, hopefully that's coming through. Ron, can you tell me if that's coming through on the 1.2?
Negative, I don't see anything, Bob.
Okay, let me try it once more. How about now, Ron?
I think.
Okay, well then, I guess let's move. I'll just do my speaking, and it's unfortunate we're not seeing the video. It might be that for whatever reason I'm not doing a good job hitting the control repeater tonight. Yes, we had the meeting today. It was a good meeting. We had a number of visiting members. We had our usual lead from Port Angeles, but we had surprise to me visits from Dave via Skype in Arizona, and from Rob via phone. So we covered a number of issues, and mostly just sort of admin stuff. We're changing our bank account, and we're taking care of some things to do with access up at the site, and also an improvement to our monitoring up at the site. I'm blanking right now. I can't think if there were other things, but that's good for starters. Let me break. Felt like I was going on a long time there, so I didn't want to time it out. So with that, I will, I'm going to, I'm seeing myself now coming over streaming at least, so I'll be interested to see if that's getting on the output as well. So I guess I will be sending it, putting it back on the normal repeater input, since I do see myself there, and then we'll move on. So give me just a moment to switch back. Okay, hopefully that has switched back. It looks like it has. So, okay, let's send it to Jim, N7QO. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you, Bob, N7QO. Well, I do see you on the 1.2, and I was able to get the streaming up here at the house as well using my cell phone. What I did, I got a range extender and just went with that. So I saw you on the stream as well. Look outstanding on the stream. Not real good on the 1.2 from my location anyway. But you look a whole lot better on the 1.2 than I look on the 1.2. Oh well. I can actually see myself on the stream. Huh. I am surprised. Well, so the streaming looks like it's working a little bit better, at least it does tonight. But maybe I spoke too soon, it froze on me. Oh well. Yeah, let's see. Well, missed the meeting. Maybe I'll see some notes on the meeting or something. I know we spoke about the bank account before. Spoke about a couple of other issues. Not sure what is meant by access, but oh well. Glad to hear there was a good turnout, at least through various communications links. That helps anyway. Back to you, Bob, and 7QO.
Okay, Jim. Well, I will send you the meeting minutes, and that'll give you a lot more details. So let's go to Ron. KD7QKU. This is K9PQ in the WatsNet. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. KD7QKU here. Well, I guess I got an email, and Lee got an email. I don't know if anyone else got an email from Mario. And Mario had watched our net last time. I guess it was Wednesday night. And then I guess he, I don't know if he recorded it or what he did. Anyway, he showed it to the guys down there in California. And they were glad to see it. He said they were impressed. And so that was kind of nice. Mario, I don't know if Mario's watching tonight or not, but he's been watching, I guess, last time and maybe this time. But Jim, your picture's considerably better this time compared to last week. I'm seeing you pretty good. It's too bad Gary wasn't on tonight. He might actually have color. If his was that much better than this time than it was last time, he might have a little bit of color enhancing. James, I don't know what happened to James. I guess he fell off the face of the earth. We didn't hear from him today either. I guess he probably worked. Is probably what he did. But darn, guys, I don't have a whole lot. Friday was a nice day, and we were eating breakfast, and Joanne said we should go for a ride. So then she said, well, we ought to drive out to Mike. That's out there on the Key Peninsula, and see his house. We haven't seen it since he started framing it up and everything. So he's just finishing up the plumbing, and he's just starting the wiring. The house is all completed, outside. Its siding's on, the windows are in, the roof's on, doors and everything. So from the outside, it's not painted, but looks pretty good from the outside. So I had sent him a text to make sure he was going to be there, and he said he was. And so it's a good thing I brought a key because the gate was locked, so I had to unlock the gate and go in. But we had a visit with him. We'd taken lunch with us, and so sat there and ate lunch with him, and then visit for another hour or so, and then turned around and came home. It's a 2-hour drive, or a little more than 2 hours in each direction, so it was 4 hours round trip, and seems like a long ways. So that's kind of what we did on Friday. And like I say, tonight we went over to Crossroads. I don't know if Bob maybe remembers Crossroads. Jim probably doesn't know much about Crossroads. They have a stage, they call it Market Stage, and on Friday and Saturday night and Sunday afternoon they always have some music entertainment. And it's kind of, sometimes it's really good, other times it's just sort of mediocre. Tonight there was a lady singing, and she was, I don't know how many piece band was accompanying her, but we didn't hardly see her or hear. So anyway, I don't know what went on. So I guess back to net, KD7QKU.
Okay, Ron. Yes, I still do go to Crossroads from time to time. It's actually not terribly far from where I work, so if I decide to drive somewhere from work, I'll occasionally go up there. It's got a nice selection of places to pick up lunch. And yeah, from from going all the way back to my childhood, that Crossroads was a very, very common place for us to go. Okay, let me once more check and see if there's anyone to join us on this. This is K9PQ. Anyone out there to join?
K7ITX, Richard in Kent.
Hello, Richard, K7ITX. Well, thanks for joining us. Why don't you go ahead and take a turn?
Yeah, okay. I just remembered you guys have your show tonight, and so I just turned everything on just in time to see a little bit of Ron on streaming and hear a little bit about, and I'm going to guess he's talking about Crossroads Mall. Crossroads Mall. If in Bellevue, kind of, I'm going to say almost kind of towards Redmond a little bit. But hi to Bob, and and then there's see Ron on the streaming all of a sudden. Hi, Ron. Hi. So I just thought I'd pop in to say that some of the gear from our Silent Key, Scott, NB7N, will be showing up at the Hamfest in Puyallup next week, minus the ATV equipment. Maybe I'll get into that I'll get into that story in the next round. K7ITX, back to you, Bob.
Okay, Richard. Well, you've certainly got me curious, and thanks for that information. Okay, well, I will take my turn. So one moment while I switch the streaming over. I should have said while I switch the input, the repeater input over to streaming, where it should be now. And yeah, Crossroads brings back a lot of memories for me, going back to early childhood. Not only shopping, but watching movies there, and there were little places to eat nearby. They didn't have the food court at the time, but they had other places around it. And yes, Richard, it's the one in Bellevue, up on the way to Redmond, as I would think of it from the old days. I grew up down near where Ron lives, near Eastgate. So it would be, for me, it would be on the way to Redmond. It's up near Overlake. And so today, as I say, we had a nice meeting. And then, boy, I guess I needed to catch up on some sleep, because I thought I would take a little nap, and I was down most of the day. So glad I made it back up for the net. Okay, with that, that'll be my turn for now. Oh, Jim, I did want to say you're looking, yes, a lot better. All I have is the streaming to look at, but we didn't see it all last week. But you have a good signal. It's clear. This last time especially, I could see you clearly, so very good. And let's go to Jim as soon as I switch over. Hang on just a moment. Okay, Jim, N7QO, this is K9PQ and the Watts Net. Over to you.
Thank you, Bob. N7QO. Well, good evening, Dick. Good to hear from you. If my picture seems a little better tonight, it certainly isn't anything that I have done. It is the atmospheric conditions, which are slightly better than they've been. Slightly better than they've been. I'm still in black and white here. Crossroads, well, that's kind of on another planet than where I am. I have not been there, at least not to my knowledge anyway. Don't make it up that way very often. Just used to make it up that way for an occasional get-together with someone, or we used to have our meetings in Newcastle. I sure wish we could do that again. That was a reasonably convenient location for me. I know it wasn't for everyone, but I appreciated that. what can I say here? Nice day here as well. It was windy for part of the day. It was very windy for part of the day, and now it's kind of in the middle. Not real bad, but certainly not anywhere close to being calm. I'm showing 39 degrees outside at the house, and believe it or not, I still have some snow on the ground, particularly where the sun does not shine at all. But, oh well. Wow, Hamfest. Let me reset. Hamfest, forgot all about that. Life has been busy lately. Not going to make it to that, I'm afraid. Oh well. Maybe next year. Back to you, Bob, N7QO.
Okay, Jim. Well, I understand about the atmospheric conditions, and yeah, it's all relative. Yeah, hopefully we'll be getting you in color here again soon if we get better conditions. Okay, this is K9PQ and the WatsNet. Let's go to Ron. Go ahead, Ron.
K9PQ in the group, KD7QKU. Well, Jim, there's a food court up there, I guess you'd call it, at Crossroads, and man, you name it and they've got it. And Richard, I had a hero sandwich, a Greek sandwich, tonight. Not nearly as good as the one over there in Issaquah. I can't remember the name of the place, Garlic something. I met Richard there maybe for lunch once or twice, and pretty darn good food over there. So Richard, yeah, today Rob said that they needed I call it a down converter. I think he called it something else, but we're up at the site, so maybe you got some good news for us. Maybe we would get some of that equipment. If so, that would be nice. Maybe we'd get a down converter that we could use. So I guess I'm anxious to hear what Richard says. So let's go back to net KD7QKU.
Okay, Ron. Very good. And it was down converter. That was what Rob called it as well. Richard, go right ahead.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, Jim. Good to hear and kind of see you a little bit. But yeah, I'm sure that there's a down converter to be had in all of Scott's stuff. Bless his heart. I sure miss the guy. Oh dear. So anyway, the plan is, well, I guess I should start from the beginning. The beginning was probably about 4 or 5 months ago. We in our club that Scott had put together, we were just wondering, what's going on, now that Scott's gone, and we know there's these 3 storage units just full of amateur radio equipment, really nice stuff, and on top of that, a 2-car garage full of stuff. So I put a phone call out to one of his brothers, the one that lives in Tacoma, and then another, I would call Scott's probably best friend, put out a phone call to, or a text or phone call to his partner, Rhonda, that they lived together for 20 years in University Place. I didn't get a call back, and Gordy, who I'm talking about, did get a text back. And so, anyway, eventually, text became a phone call, and what the phone call amounted to was poor Rhonda said that Scott had really left a pretty big mess behind. So, but anyway, what we figured out, at least at this point, is she was able to consolidate 3 of the storage units into 2 units, and is still paying the rent. That's what we were scared to death of. We were just wanted to make sure, so she was paying the rent. So she is, and got it down and got it consolidated into 2 units. But she is just totally bewildered. And so as it stands, and by the way, the ATV equipment, or at least the standalone, personal station, I guess, for that you would consider you might have it in your shack. That's in a storage unit. The actual repeater itself is at I guess I'll call it Rhonda's rental property, where they have a 2-meter repeater and a NOTAC, a digital repeater. Well, gosh, I'm sorry I'm dragging this along. It's just kind of hard to talk about, but so what it boils down to, she got a postcard in the mail from Mike and Key, because Scott literally reserves a table for the next year during the Ham Fest. So, he's always a year ahead. So the card came in the mail. She wasn't sure what to do. She got a hold of our club and asked us to come out. So we're coming out to Scott's house on this Friday we're just going into the garage at this point. Nothing has been said about the storage units or the shack out at the rental property that has all the repeater business. So I'm really in the dark and on the status of any of this stuff, other than the fact that I think Ron is extremely overwhelmed, as I can imagine. All of this, losing Scott like this, was a shock to everybody. And so I expect to have a lot more, I'll have more information, let me put it that way. I'll have more information probably in the next week or two. And I'll just have to check the pulse of the situation when I'm there on Friday. I suspect the ATV equipment isn't going anywhere anytime real quick, and I'm not holding my breath, but I wouldn't be surprised if at some point it gets in your possessions. But we'll just have to play it by ear. So that's what I know, Bob. I'll send it back to you. K7ITX.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Richard. I know that's hard for you to go through, and it sounds like it's very hard for Rhonda. So I appreciate the update. Well, I honestly don't have a whole lot to add here tonight. Oh, I did want to comment on Mario. I saw those comments in the chat section of our streaming on YouTube, and I just think that's very cool. I'm not sure if he recorded it either, Ron. I didn't hear that. It sounded to me like he actually was maybe sending it out live directly out over their repeater, which would be very cool, but I'm not sure. Well, with that, I think I'll just send it back to Jim, and I wouldn't mind a short net tonight if in fact that's what you guys want. But I'll send it to you, Jim, and we'll see N7QO. This is K9PQ. Oh, I forgot to switch the video. Man, oh man. Okay, next time, I guess. I'll do one more round with video. Go over to you, Jim.
N7QO. Thanks, Bob. Well, thank you for that information, Dick. Well, good luck with all of that. I know if something ever happened to me, my wife would be dramatically overwhelmed. The place is not overflowing with ham equipment as much as it is just miscellaneous stuff. When we moved from our former state to where we are now, we cleaned out a whole bunch of stuff, but somehow things have grown, and the place has gotten out of control around here. So with retirement here, I am compelled to try to get the place straightened out a bit, and I'm afraid it's probably going to take a couple of years, but I have a sense of urgency because I think we may need to downsize sometime not too far down the road. It'll probably be like maybe 4 years down the road, I'm guessing, but I would certainly like to do so, or to get someplace less expensive anyway. Yeah, things had not worked out like we were expecting, but no problem. We will deal with it. So I can certainly appreciate people having problems cleaning things out. It's a reset. I think people don't even realize how much stuff they accumulate, and it just gets rat-holed here and there. At least that's the way it seems to work with most everyone I know. I know maybe about 2 people who are ultra clean, and they never have any extra junk lying around the house. But one dear friend of mine keeps saying that every time he looks for something, what happened, he discovers after the fact, is that his wife has sold it at a garage sale. So he has to go out and buy some new stuff. And that gets a little pricey after a while. So I guess there are advantages and disadvantages, no matter how you slice it. But just the way it goes. Yeah, I can't say that I have a whole lot of business tonight either, Bob. If you want to cut the net a little bit short, I'm okay with that. But otherwise, I'll be hanging around. K9PQ and 7QO.
Okay, Jim. Well, yeah, I have comments on that, too, about stuff and dealing with it. I'll wait till my turn. So let's go to Ron. This is the WattsNet. This is K9PQ. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay, well, thank you, Bob. KD7QKU here. Yeah, we're all kind of hoarders, I guess. I think that goes along with ham radio. And Richard, I trust that you still have those pictures that you've taken of the equipment that Scott was going to give us. So at the appropriate time, maybe you could show those to the lady and tell her the story, and then you could identify the stuff. Maybe then she would want to get rid of it. So if she does, that'd be wonderful. We could put some of it to use. So let's see, what else? There, and I don't have a whole lot more either. So We did have a good meeting today. Let's see. Dave Skyped in. That was kind of surprising. I think he tried to call me here tonight, but I wasn't home, so I tried to call him back, but he wasn't on. His little symbol is orange instead of green, so sorry I missed him. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess I'll say 73, and I'll turn it back to Ned unless we think of something else to talk about. KD7QKU, back to Ned.
Okay, Ron, thank you for that, and we'll go on to Richard one more time. Go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, Ron. I'm sure I still have some pictures, and it'll be really interesting to see how that all that moves forward. Some of the amateur, some of the club guys are saying, well, we know that's your stuff. Scott gave it to you. We were there when he gave it to you. Well, that isn't where I'm coming from at all. As far as I'm concerned, it all goes back to Rhonda, and it's her decision on how to proceed. Now, but I'm going to obviously encourage her to, let Scott's his original intention, follow through. That would be the hope. But in the meantime, we're going to try to, generate some revenue for some of the stuff that we can let go at the Ham Fest. As to whether or not anyone's going to be inclined to take the ATV gear to the Ham Fest next year, I don't know, and that's a discussion down the road. So it's a weird situation. I never, ever in my wildest dreams I thought I'd be in. But then again, 4 or 5 years ago, I never thought I'd have my dad's call sign, let alone a ham radio ticket. So anyway, it's been fun explaining and trying to go through a little bit of the personal consternation with you guys. Thanks for listening to me. Sorry about that. So I'll say 73. And I'll send it back to Bob. I think I got it right. K9PQ, K7ITX.
Sorry, Richard, I couldn't. The Ham Fest is next weekend.
There, it sounded like somebody doubled with you. Is there somebody trying to get in?
That was just me. Ron, I was asking if the Ham Fest was next weekend.
I don't remember offhand. Do you know, Richard?
Yes, affirmative. March 9th. So it's exactly a week from today. And I will be at Rhonda's house this coming Friday to meet with some of the guys and load up some stuff out of her garage.
Okay, thanks, Richard. This is my turn. Let me make sure I've got it here. Okay, this time I'll remember to switch over the video signal, so let me do that now. Okay, hopefully, Ron, can you tell me, is my picture up now? Okay, well, I see it on streaming. I'm not sure where Ron went. comment, but so I see I'm on. Yeah, about all the stuff. I'm in a situation where I'm having to deal with it. I already downsized. I had a house in Seattle. I moved out, and for a time I had storage. And when I moved here into the condo, I said the one thing I was not going to do was to keep the storage. Otherwise, I'd just be paying for the rest of my life probably. So I did get rid of a lot of stuff, and the rest came here. And I'm still going through it. It's been more years than I want to admit. And, you know, it's down there in the garage, kind of out of sight, out of mind, or it's in plastic tubs. I find myself looking for stuff, and that's when I say, oh, I got to get motivated. I got to get this stuff, you know, really organized. And then forget about it until the next time I'm looking for stuff. And that was pretty funny what you said, Jim, about the person you know that when he looks for something, it's been sold. I don't have that problem, but what I find is I'll go looking and looking and looking and think I've looked everywhere and not find something, and then all of a sudden it'll turn up someplace I hadn't thought to look. So that's more the issue I've got. Okay, well, I think I'm going to say, make this my last transmission. I'll come back, you know, for the final. But this is my 73 to you guys, and I will send it to Jim, and I'll switch the video over. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you, Bob. Well, yeah, my problem is the same as yours. Unfortunately, when we moved to Seattle, we went from a smaller place to a larger place, so that means more places to look for stuff. I'm not sure if that's better or not. There are times that I really feel for my friend with this extraordinarily neat wife who tends to sell his stuff at garage sales. Oh well. I don't know. Well, thanks everyone for participating. Dick, thanks for joining us, and good luck with all of that. My God, that's going to be a challenge. Good luck with that. Hang in there. Good night, everyone, and 7QO.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Over to you, Ron.
Hey, good night, everybody. Thanks, Bob, for doing that. 73s. Bye-bye. I'm clear. KD7QKU.
Okay, Ron. And Richard, I just want to echo what Jim said. Hang in there. It does sound like it's a huge mountain to climb, but, you know, one step after the next, I guess. Okay, 73 from me. This is K9PQ. This has been a Western Washington Amateur Television Society net, and we are closing a little bit early tonight and turning the repeater over to normal operations. We want to thank the SeaTac repeater group for allowing us this time on the repeater for coordination of our video. Have a good night, all. K9PQ clear.
Thanks a lot, you guys. K7ITX.